In today's video, I'm going to explain how to use a brokerage account in your overall investment strategy. So just a little recap of a brokerage account. It's an account used to invest outside of your retirement account or as a way to complement your retirement strategy. So with retirement accounts, so your 401k, your IRAs, those accounts have tax perks and tax incentives for using them. So you save tax money by using retirement accounts, which is the benefit of using those. But those come with certain time frames and limitations on how you could access your money and when. There are definitely some drawbacks to investing in a retirement account, especially if you're really far from retirement or far from needing the money. So what you can do in place of a retirement account or in addition to a retirement account is invest in your brokerage account. Now, this is going to be an account that you can invest in for your pre-retirement goals or anything that you need money for prior to retirement, because there's no penalties for taking that money out at any point. The downside of them is there's no tax incentives. When you sell something in your brokerage account, you have to pay either income tax or capital gain tax. Take a look at this video for more information on taxes and how those work inside your brokerage account. But that is the drawback to investing in a brokerage account versus a retirement account. The problem I see come up a lot is when people are heavily investing in their retirement account without investing outside at all, and then something comes up where they need the money. This happened for me exactly when I first started investing. I was only using a retirement account, and then I wanted to buy a house and the down payment was $6,000. I didn't have that saved or invested except inside a 401k. That's actually all I had, so I completely liquidated that whole account so that I could pay the down payment on a house. So there's stuff like that that will come up or that might come up that you don't want to have to pay penalties when you could have just been investing in a brokerage account. So let's talk about using both account types together. Retirement accounts come with certain limits, whether it's how much you can contribute every year, how much you're allowed to deduct from your taxes. There's different rules depending on what the account type is. So take a look at those, see if you have the ability to max out your retirement accounts. And once you do, you can still save above and beyond that inside a brokerage account, whether it's for retirement or pre-retirement goals. So that's going to be if you have a really large budget to work with, you just do both. You do as much as you possibly can in your retirement, and then you do any extra that you have inside a brokerage account. Now, if you're like most people, you are not working with a gigantic, massive budget, but you still have to kind of figure out what to do and how to balance these two account types. What I would do is find your surplus in your budget. Take a look at this video if you need some help with that. Then say, okay, I'm gonna put half of my budget into my retirement and half of it into my pre-retirement investing, until you get to the point where you've got a good chunk of money there that you're like, I don't really think I'm gonna need more than that. Maybe it's 10,000, 20, 30, 50, 100,000. It's gonna be so different based on the goals that you have before retirement. For example, I wanted to start a business. So I'm not going to put that money in a retirement account, but instead I invested it in a brokerage account for several years and it's still invested, and I'm at the point where I'm starting to pull money from that from time to time to fund my business expenses. Whereas if it was in a retirement account, there would be penalties, there would be other rules I would have to deal with. I really like having both, but I wasn't even at the point where I was maxing out my retirement account. I just started saving in both. But that being said, even if you just put a little bit towards your retirement goals, 3%, 5% or something, and then add to it as you can, that'll still really get you in the habit of saving and investing for retirement, but also making sure that you take care of your pre-retirement goals as well. When it comes to actually investing in a brokerage account, you have so much freedom to do whatever you want. With 401ks and company retirement accounts, you're limited to a certain list of investments that your employer provides to you. With a brokerage account, you can buy practically anything you want. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETF, all of it. Just makes it a really flexible way to get invested. If you're just starting out, I've got a couple of suggestions for you. One, the easiest I'm telling you, easiest one to use is a robo-advisor. Take a look at this video for some help on that. It just takes the thought process out of investing. It's really low cost and it gets you invested, and you could just keep investing on a regular basis. That's how I started out investing. When I first started, I did that for a few years before I just removed that feature, which you could do at any time without any penalties or anything. The other thing you could do, especially if you're just kind of getting used to investing, is buy just a couple of stocks or stock slices and get slowly invested. That way, when you have more money to invest, you kind of get used to how things work and you don't freak out when you start to see the market dropping, because it's very normal for the market to drop and go up and all of that. So just using a brokerage account to get used to how investing works will allow you to then get set up for success so that you can develop an overall investment strategy and keep investing on a regular basis. So my homework for you is to open up a brokerage account if you don't already have one. It can be individual or joint, and get started with that account, as well as get your retirement account open. You can just start slowly with both and make sure you're using both. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions at all in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. Bye.